Let's talk about dignifying the Kenyan in the Juakali sector. But first things first, we're bringing the show one more time from 1442 Kusini, a real estate property located here along Surrey Road in South B, boasting of a number of amenities. Of course, proximity to the CBD, proximity to churches, mosques, schools, hospitals, you name it. But even better is the price for one unit. If you want to actually get a two-bedroom unit, you're only going to have to check out 7.7 million Kenya shillings. One bedroom units go for only 5.7 million Kenya shillings. Remember, 1442 Kusini have a chance to redefine your art of living, and also you can add one of their units or even two to your investment portfolio. So why don't you contact them today via the numbers displayed at the bottom part of your screen as we do the show. But Prof is going to tell us more about how you can also partner with financing partners so that you own one of these units. But Prof, great to see you on the show.
Thank you, Richard.
You're doing well?
Well.
All right, we're having a conversation about now these Kenyans in the Juakali sector. Oftentimes, you've talked about the need for us to formalize those in the Juakali sector. Here's what the president had to say on the 6th of August. That because of the affordable housing, those in the Juakali sector are now wearing suits. They are now serious people. Some were telling me that they are now corporatized. They have bank accounts and pay taxes. Let's start with affordable housing in the first place, Prof. Okiya Omtatah a while ago had to say that the president took affordable housing so that he can create business for his proxies in the steel and cement industry. We're still talking about people treating this investment from the government with a lot of resentment. Why though?
I don't know. I don't want to go in the direction of saying Ruto is doing business with affordable housing. He's a businessman. He has not denied that. He has not denied that he's a businessman. Nothing stops him from doing business.
Sure.
If you ask me, I'll just say I have my own issues with affordable housing. And that's the way they should go.
Now he's talking about the affordable housing impact on those in the Juakali sector. Prof, the KRA has said its major challenge is expanding the tax base. And one way for them to achieve that is by formalizing those in the Juakali sector. Why is this so hard for KRA to implement in the first phase, or even the government of Kenya?
Lack of thinking.
Thinking?
Yeah. KRA does not bring any thinking into the whole business of tax collection. Yeah. You see, KRA is being run like the top leadership are some Form 4 dropouts running KRA. KRA, the top leadership of an agency like KRA is supposed to be some of the best minds we have in this country. They look at an issue like this and see it in a way you bring some understanding into it. I've always argued, and I've asked them to invite me to take them through how they can move taxes from 2.3 trillion to even 5, 6, 7 trillion. Yeah, it's possible. So the first thing you want to do, in collaboration with other players, government and other players, how do we formalize our informal sector? Number one. In the process of doing that, which is number two, how do we create literacy? You know, what you want to call business literacy. I'm looking for the term. But you see, many of the people doing business, including people like us, there are so many things we don't know. We know very little about taxation, for example. You form a company, you don't even know what is required of you, as even if the company is dormant.
The formalities.
And you start a small kiosk, there must be an arm of government, and that's where KRA would then come in to employ like 100,000 young people. Not give them uniform to move around harassing people for taxes, no. To create literacy. Financial literacy, that's the word I was looking for. Financial
literacy.
That here you are. You may think this is a small job when Mama Mboga. But do you know, if you keep a book, and this is how you record, and if we have high levels of illiteracy, you can even do it in groups. So that there are people teaching Mama Mbogas on a certain market, like where I come from, Jabrok, how to keep records of their business. Ultimately, how to start some form of banking. It doesn't have to be complicated banking. You know, there are various platforms for banking that can accommodate people who are who are only able to save like 100 shillings per day. They are there, and others can be created. So, but the idea is you learn the saving. First of all, banking. When I was doing some business, I was told, and it worked when somebody tried to help me. Do not sell your commodities today, and in the morning, take that money and buy more of the same commodity. What you sell, take to the bank. Okay?
Sure.
What you buy from the bank, with the money from the bank. That gives you some discipline. Secondly, it creates a footprint, some footprint of seriousness of our business. The next thing, you are able to take a loan because of that. You get it? Because of you are tracking banking.
True.
Your turnover is seen, you know. But if you are selling, for example, you are selling beer, you sell 10 crates today, and the first thing, lori kikuja kesho, hiyo pesa ndio unanunua, the same 10, hiyo imebaki 10 ndio unaweka. If you are banking, and then you pay through the bank, even through M-Pesa, you see, you buy what you sell, you deposit on your M-Pesa account. Then when you are restocking the following day, you buy from your M-Pesa. You see, you have a record of business. You can now get a loan. So that's what KRA ought to do first. A year or so of financial literacy across the country, from the smallest person, you know, within the informal Juakali sector. After a year or two, you have people who understand how to do business. They can even borrow. Now they are doing well. Because they are doing well, you are able to tax them. And they will be willingly able to pay your taxes because they know the beauty of having their records, keeping records. Now, these records will expose them to tax, but there's a better deal for them. They can get support from financial institutions. You get it? That's how KRA ought to go. And they'll be surprised that they're able to pay Kenya's debt in 3 years.
In record time.
3 years, we shall have no debt.
In the same breath, Prof, you're talking about how KRA can now walk forth towards realizing its ambitious revenue targets.
Yes.
But also you've talked about literacy. But do you also feel there's need for KRA to address the mindset of Kenyans towards tax obligations or even paying their taxes? KRA talks about tulipe ushuru tujitegemee.
Yes.
A Kenyan sees taxes more of an oppressive thing, more than us building our country.
That's another thing.
We need to change the mindset of the Kenyan towards taxes.
There is something about taxes, which is universal, that you should pay your taxes without asking what the taxes are doing. Give unto Caesar what belongs unto Caesar. That's the principle of taxation. However, when people are moving with bundles of your money,
for empowerment programs,
whatever you want to call it, I'm not looking at empowerment. People are moving with bundles of your money like this, swaggering. Mina toa million tatu. It becomes very painful to pay those taxes. You look at your payslip, then you see a guy with the bundles of money carrying like this, or somebody carrying behind him to give. No, that is not. That can't work. We are human beings. We have feelings. So we must create physical discipline. We must reduce instances of people vomiting on other people's shoes. You get it?
I get it.
We cannot allow people to show they are wearing mtu kutoka kwa kiatu mpaka huko juu amevaa milioni 15. Na watu wanajua hii ni pesa yao. Unless you reduce that, it will be very difficult for Kenyans to be very happy paying taxes. So we must address that so that Kenyans can pay their taxes without feeling that really the money is just going to people's pockets.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Prof, you've always talked of Kenya being this dirty, poor, third world country.
Yes.
And the government of President Ruto seems to be keen on getting to prosperity through taxation. Do you think this is something that's feasible in the first place?
You cannot tax people into prosperity. Nobody has ever done it. If today Kenyans say, Manyora, you are the president, I'll reduce taxes. Yeah, I'll reduce taxation by more than 40%. As on my first day.
At a time when you have debt obligations to meet?
Yeah, I will reduce 40. I know what I'll do. What I will embark on is physical discipline. I will embark on there will be no wastage, not under me. There will be no theft of public resources. We cannot tax people so that others can steal the money. That not under my presidency if I'm the president. But there's something more important that I'll do, which is how does a country create revenue without taxation? Why do we only have one stream of revenue, which is taxes? Can't we be like some other countries? Can't we, as a country, earn money from our resources? The resources which God has put in this country, natural resources. You mean we can't get money from our natural resources, from our minerals, from our forests, from our waters, marine life? The government can't extract resources, money from that? How? Excuse me, just show me how. We can't extract money from what God has put in this country. In the air, from the sun, the solar, the minerals under the earth, the vegetation on top of earth, the waters in Kenya. Look, God gives you Lake Naivasha. What do you do with it? What do you do with Lake Naivasha? Instead of making it a nice freshwater lake where you can get fish and process the fish for even export, what do? You pump chemicals into the river in the name of flower farms.
For export market.
Which those things don't benefit the economy. They don't benefit anybody. Workers there, look at them. What kind of health do they enjoy? That lake tourism, you can have serious tourism around Lake Naivasha based on the lake.
Marine tourism?
Yes, based on that lake that can generate 1,000 times more than what you are getting from those flowers and employ 300-400 times more than what you are doing with those flower farms that are killing the lake. That's the thinking I'm talking about. So if I'm the president, I will set to get revenue, not from taxes, but from resources of this country. Number 3, this country can generate revenue from doing business. I believe government must create an enabling environment for investors and business people. Okay? But there is also room for government to do business without being in a competition with investors. There are certain businesses which only government can do. There are certain areas which are best covered business-wise by government. And that's why there was the thinking about commercial enterprises that are government-owned, state corporations that are classified as commercial, that are meant to generate revenue and money for this country. Yeah. We have killed all of them. Now we are selling them for a song.
Listen to the private investors.
Yeah, no. So my approach would be to find out how much can Kenya get from what God has given us in our waters, in our skies, on earth, in terms of our forest, in terms of crops, in terms of farming, and what business can government do to generate revenue? For example, we have millions of acres in places like Tana River and the other places where government can go and undertake projects, not to go and grow maize.
That's why you have Galana Kulalu.
You know that Gulana Kularu with maize, that's no absolute nonsense. The Gulana Kularu thing is just a joke. Because I kept asking, how much does Kenya need in terms of maize? About 60 million bags, maximum, 45 million bags. If Gulana Kulalu was to produce the way they were saying it to produce, no other Kenyans will grow maize. And no other Kenyan will grow maize.
Even us from Trans Nzoia?
You can't. You calculate 1 million bags, 1 million acres, so each producing, they are saying they'll produce 60 or 50 or 40 per acre. That is enough maize that Kenya needs. Will come from Gulana Kulala. So everybody is planting maize. Nyinyi watu wa Trans Nzoia, mtafuta kitu ya kupanda, labda avocado.
Avocado.
Yeah.
Or miwa.
So that already is not well thought out. Leave maize production to people. Maize production in this country can be done under rain-fed agriculture. You come from the place.
True.
Do you need irrigation to plant maize in your place?
We depend on God.
And God does wonders for you. So wacha maize watu wa Trans Nzoia wapande na uwasaidie na uwasingishu. You promote them in terms of
local economies,
and marketing and what have you. Tana River panda kitu ambayo inataka irrigation, where government will not be competing with small scale farmers. Panda kama miwa
or barley,
ama horticulture with the foreign market in mind. Grow 1 million acres of something in Tana River and grow a product which will be processed and taken to China.
Commercial apple farming.
Yote inaenda China. Unless we think that way, we will remain a poor, dirty third world country.
Let's talk about your son, Johnson Sakaja, Governor, Nairobi County. Nairobi County enjoys the biggest chunk of these Kenyans in the Juakali industry. But when it comes to even enforcement of compliance measures by its City Hall, in a bid just to raise their own revenue, or even KRA going after these Juakali people in Nairobi, how do you think has been the conduct of Nairobi, of City Hall in the first place?
It's just barbaric, to say the least. It's pathetic, really.
It's now hard to do business
in Nairobi County. You need to support those people, not to harass them.
Kanjos are all over.
In the year 2025, and the Juakali people have been with us all this time, they ought to be having modern sheds. Yeah.
How Ngong Road have?
Yeah, give them modern sheds. Look at some of the work they do on Ngong Road. Now you talk about Ngong Road, around Rescos. Look at the furniture. Look at the standards. Those people ought to have been given a place where they can work from. They are taken to China to look at the modern ways of doing those things and come back with modern machinery for molding, for everything. That's how a country grows. Not chasing after.
Lazima iwak, Nairobi lazima iwak.
Itawako namna gani? Itawako kufukuza watu. Ina work ukiempower watu, ukienable them. Instead of chasing Juakali people, modernize their production. Give them zones. Build for them structures from where they can work. Import with them and for them modern machinery. Take them for training in China, India, and elsewhere. And let them come with those machinery. Emails and atengeneza in 2 minutes. Grrr, is ready. That's how you empower people. And once they are empowered, they will begin even to sell these products outside Kenya.
And KRA earn something.
And you come and earn something. Now, instead of chasing for 20 shillings, they are able to give you 2,000 shillings in a day.
In good faith.
In good faith. And they are enjoying. Because now they are put on the suits Ruto is talking about.
Yeah. All right, there you have it. That point by Professor Herman Manyora takes us to the wrap of today's conversation, discussing about how better we can formalize the Kenyans in the Juakali sector and also make sure that they get dignity for the toil and labor of their hands. We've been doing this from 1442 Kusini, a real estate property located here along Solly Road in South B. Of course, they have amazing offers for you. I'm talking about 2-bedroom units going for 7.7 million shillings only. 1-bedroom housing units going for 5.7 million Kenya shillings only. But even better is their partnership with Kenya Mortgage Refinance Company. Prof knows better about the deal. Tell us the place of KMRC in this.
This is a government outfit set up to ensure that Kenyans buy houses in a very affordable way. One, the interest rate is single digit, meaning below 10%. You can't get that from the banks or other mortgage outfits. More importantly, it is fixed. It doesn't change during the tenure. If you've taken a mortgage for 15 years, that will remain like that.
Come whatever inflation changes or whatever.
Yes. Number 3, which is more beautiful than anything else, perhaps, they are not as strict in their assessment as other financiers would be.
The advance will go room for you.
Yes, they are more flexible in assessing you. Others can assess you in 6 months. They ask for this, you give this, they ask for this. These guys, you give them like on Monday and Wednesday, they have assessed you. They say, okay, looking at you, looking at your abilities, we will finance for you 80%. Look for 20%. As simple as that, within a couple of days. So you can see it is a deliberate effort from government to increase house ownership.
Mortgage uptake.
If you do not take advantage of such, then you have yourself to blame. Because it can't come better than that. Yeah. Easier to assess, fixed interest rates, below 10%. You can't get anything better than that.
Whether you're based in Kenya or in the diaspora, bring your 7.7 million Kenya shillings, get your 2-bedroom housing unit. Come with your 5.7 million Kenya shillings, get a 1-bedroom unit for your family. Also, as one of your investment portfolios, you can rent it out as a B&B. You can also probably donate to people out here who need housing if you're a philanthropist for that case. Prof, great to have done this with you today on the show. Time now for Fan of the Week on Business Glide. It is none other than this gentleman, John Courier in Kitale.
John Courier from Kitale, welcome. Thank you for being part of this family.
All right, up next on your screen is the Business Glide African Proverb of the Day.